It was touted as the largest ag tech deal in the history. And that's something pretty fun to be a part of. And I think our team's excited to really bring that vision to life.
One, two, three.
Coming up, we're talking the largest AgTech deal in history with Andrew Sederman, the VP of Product and Customer Experience at PTX Trimble.
All right, Tim, super excited for this interview, talking to Andrew about PTX Trimble. Like, do people realize a $2 billion deal? Like, this is wild. We dig into it with him. But Tim, before we do, gotta just like what's your take on the state of the Niners? Just had the draft. How are you feeling over there? Kittle just closed his extension. What are the vibes?
Yeah, the dust is settled. I kind of needed the weekend to process, see how all the picks came through. Like, definitely stacking defense, which I love. Like, 49ers historically have been a very defensive heavy team. Like, lead with the defense. Defense wins championships. So love seeing us get some D linemen and some players on that side of the ball. See those coming back. So I'm feeling good about things. I think the Niners are back, Ty. We're back.
We are so back. We're so back. Kittle, I think this is a big deal. Not as big of a deal as the PTX Trimble deal, but a big deal nonetheless. This is cementing Kittle as one of the great Niners. He's a year away from being a 10-year Niner, which is kind of hallowed ground. And he just coming off an incredible season. I'm so glad they got this deal done, and I'm excited. Now we need to have him get a championship as a Niner, and he will be cemented as like potentially on the Mount Rushmore.
Totally. Yeah, he's definitely one of the heartbeats of the team. Like, got a really good core. We've got McCaffrey coming back, hopefully. Got all the injury bugs out of the way last season. I'm feeling good about the year, Ty.
We are a few months removed from them missing the postseason, and we are back with all hope.
Yeah, I'm thinking playoffs, Ty. Definitely making the playoffs this year.
Oh, my sights are sky high.
Yeah, we're going to the ship.
Going to the ship. All right, guys, we are excited to dig into this with Andrew. We hope you enjoyed this. We really dug into the details of the deal, how it materialized, why it happened, the branding around it, and talked a lot about Brazil. So it was great. He was at the Ag Show in Brazil this past week, and so it was top of mind for him. We talked to Brazilian agriculture biologicals, and we had to send him off to a happy hour that he was waiting to get to. So it was an awesome conversation. Let's jump in with what's top of mind for him. But first, a word from our sponsor. Hey guys, quick message from our sponsor, PF Partners. Growing your business in the agriculture space in 2025 is maybe harder than it's ever been. Investor funding has dried up, growers have tighter budgets than ever, and overall, it's just hard to go to market. PF Partners, a consulting firm with over a decade of experience scaling successful ad tech solutions globally, has just launched a new webinar on optimizing go-to-market strategies in the agribusiness space. It shows you what's changing in the market, exactly how to deal with it, everything is backed by research, and it's about go-to-market plays in the ag sector that you can use tomorrow. So if you're ready to turn your go-to-market efforts into results, go to themodernacre.com/PFP or text modern to 55444 to download the webinar for free. That's themodernacre.com/PFP or text modern to 55444.
Yeah, so top of mind, I'm going to have to say I'm down here in Brazil right now at the Agri Show, arguably the largest farm machinery and technology show here in Brazil. And man, there is a lot going on. Brazil is full of innovation. Brazil is full of diversity in crops, diversity in customers. And so what's top of mind for me is, I would say, what's going on here in Brazil. We've got customer sentiment is actually doing quite well. We've got some strong sugarcane prices. Some of the global trade items are actually providing some parts of positivity for Brazilian soybean farmers. And so there's a lot of buzz here at the show around here. And so we're in the heart of kind of sugarcane country here. And so it's really fun to get outside of where I'm based in the U.S. and see something other than corn and soybeans and see a crop that really has a global impact. And a crop, frankly, that as well has a lot of technology baked into it, but at the same time relies a lot on many people as well as a long expertise to really make a fruitful crop. And so I'm excited to be here, and I'm really passionate about how we can have a strong impact on Brazilian agriculture, as I'd say we're in the heartbeat of it right now.
Andrew, what should people know about Brazilian agriculture? Like what should US companies, whether ag tech companies or US farmers, like what are the big key things to know about what Brazil is offering?
Brazil offers a diversity of crops. We're one minute we're talking to sugarcane farmers, the next we're talking to soybean farmers, and the next we're talking about citrus and coffee and many of these other crops. What a lot of people don't understand is the scale of Brazilian agriculture. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of acres of some of these operations. And so when you look at these, this isn't this is a professional operation. And I think sometimes we think about farming as being a one person in their tractor or a small team and a few machines. But here it's all about the logistics of hundreds of different machines, thousands of different people. It's about marketing a crop on a global scale, and it's about using some fertile ground and some tough environments to really grow a fruitful crop. And Brazil is really a pillar of the global agriculture economy. And so it's an amazing place to drive through. It's an amazing place to talk to customers and just understand the scale that they work at and really the detail that goes into each and everything. And somebody that sits in a very heavy technology focused business, it's awesome to see how technology is being adopted and having a real impact for customers, whether that's better planting with emergence and singulation, whether that's you know allowing for a broader labor pool to still have the same accuracy and repeatability as the most experienced operators. And what these customers and farmers are really demanding, I think, pushes the bounds of what precision ag offers today, and creates a cool spot for us as a company to innovate and really strive to be better.
Andrew, can you expand a little bit on what your company is offering farmers in the market in Brazil, like from an AGCO perspective, Trimble perspective, and maybe speak to the joint venture with PTX?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, AGCO and AGCO's brands really with Massey Ferguson and Valtra are household names here in Brazil, in the Brazilian agriculture market. I mean, two long-standing brands that have strong market share, have strong presence, and have really been known in this Brazilian market for high-quality products that continue to push the limits of what customers need and can really benefit from their operation. But the AGCO story in Brazil starts maybe with Valtra and Massey Ferguson, but has really expanded far beyond that. In the late 2010s, AGCO introduced the Fendt brand here in South America, or specifically Brazil, and that really bringing a new level of productivity and efficiency to the Brazilian agriculture market. Certainly a very premium product in a market that sometimes is not thought of as a place that really invites premium products. But the Fendt brand has been known for reliability, it's been known for technology, and it's been known for efficiency for these Brazilian operations. And so, as somebody that had an opportunity to really play a role in that start of Fendt in Brazil, it's exciting to be back here now in 2025 and seeing some of the foothold here. For me, from a PTX standpoint, PTX is the technology focused arm of AGCO under the brands that sells products under the brands of Precision Planting and PTX Trimble. Both of these are brands that have had a strong heritage here in Brazil. PTX Trimble, with the heritage of the Trimble Ag business that comes together as a joint venture between AGCO and Trimble, has been known for strong guidance and positioning, making sure that we have machines in the right place at the right time and are using our commodities and our inputs in the right place, or in the right amount, excuse me. Precision planting has been synonymous with precision agriculture. Precision, it's in the name, but precision planting is really known about driving that profitability for the customer, ensuring that seed has the best growing environment and has the greatest chance of turning into a fruitful yield for that customer. So as we look at here at AgriShow specifically, which is really illustrative of our approach here in Brazil, this is our first show where PTX, with our two brands of Precision Planting and PTX Trimble, has shown up together. And what that means for farmers here is they now have a technology provider that can provide all, if or most, if not all, of their precision ag technology needs as they look across their operation, from whether that's sugarcane, row crops of corn, soybeans, cotton, etc. And so it's really exciting to see our technology focused company together with the strong heritage and brands from Massey Ferguson, Fenton, and Walter coming together and giving farmers something that they're telling us, they haven't seen from one single company before.
How did this deal come together? Like, I mean, these are big companies. This is a big vision. It probably took, I imagine, a lot, a lot to come together, a lot of pieces to come together. Walk us through how this materialized.
Yeah, it's an awesome story, I think, but it started with the vision of what could we do that would be bold and better for farmers. Trimble Ag, precision planting, Headsight, intelligent ag solutions, strong, well-known names across the global agriculture scale that we were looking at and said, we offer a lot of great things to farmers. Some of the things that we didn't offer, though, that Trimble Ag really offered well was a really strong guidance and steering portfolio, ISO implement control portfolio that worked across a wide range of products, as we like to say, both in vintage and in brand. So there was this missing piece of really being able to connect and control the entire mixed fleet. If you think about it, with the precision planting, the intelligent ag solutions brand focused on seeders, and the harvesting solutions from Headsight, these were really allowed us to control, what I would call as the task or the job that was being done in the field. But together with Trimble Ag, now under the brand of PTx Trimble, we're able to make sure that that implement, through the positioning of a machine and the control of a machine, can be in the right place to really make that operation come together. So as this vision started to come to life of, hey, what could this look like between two industry leading technology brands? We formed everything under this idea of better together. And better together wasn't just a slogan. I mean, it was about how do we ensure that we're better together for the farmer? How do we ensure that we're better together for the dealer? And how do we ensure that we're better together for our employees, creating new opportunities for all of them and new value along the way? And so together we got together. My career has traditionally been at AGCO. There's a team of us at AGCO, a team at Trimble. We got together and certainly started to brainstorm around this idea of how can we be better together. And through the course of many different conversations, through the course of many different brainstorming sessions, we brought together this vision for what is the joint venture. And the joint venture was kind of built then under a vision statement of together we will become the industry leader in smart farming and autonomy solutions for the mixed fleet. That's what we've worked to deliver. So in September of 2023, we have publicly announced for the first time the intent to create this joint venture, which we now call PTx Trimble. And on April 1st of 2024, we started this journey with the closing of the deal and the start of the business that we've been working together to form over the last year. And so PTx Trimble has been on a strong start. In late in 2024, we brought the team together with Precision Planting to really form this global industry leader in mixed fleet, smart farming, and autonomy solutions. And that's what we're demonstrating here this week.
That's super cool. I mean, I think makes a ton of sense in the kind of like a 1+1=3 situation where a lot of people in agriculture are familiar with Trimble and have a relationship there. Yeah. They're familiar with precision planting. Like on our farm, we're more specialty crop growers. So like the precision planting, we don't necessarily leverage that technology, but we have a Trimble unit in our Challenger that we use to set furrows and are using that technology. So I think makes sense to kind of touch more farmers that are in various crops. You mentioned like the diversity of crops in Brazil. Maybe talk to us about like PTx of like what crops you're focused on, where it's most applicable.
Yeah, well, first of all, we appreciate the business and excited to certainly hear that. So, as we look at diversity, that's one of the things we have a saying that we use internally, that solutions for every season. Solutions for every season means we want to be able to solve problems for the farmer, regardless of the stage of the crop and regardless of the phase of each year, whether that's planting, caring for the crop, or harvesting the crop. But that extends beyond, which crops we focus on. And so certainly with our planting products, we have a strong focus on some of your small grains and large grain row crops. With our PTx Trimble brands, we have a much broader range of crops that we serve. Certainly with some of our guidance products, very strong in some of your bedded row crops where accuracy and precision are absolutely essential. But what I'm really excited about are some of the things that we're doing that we've just started to show in the market or just started to commercialize with some of our spraying products, some of our nutrient management products, which really start to become agnostic of the crop that the customer may be using, but much more paired to how they want to operate in their operation. So as we look at our spraying technologies, this is all about making sure that once in the field, the crop has the optimal growing environment. Our nutrient management technologies are all about making sure that the nutrients, from a soil sampling perspective, this year we're commercializing the world's first fully automated soil sampling lab, which brings the point of soil sampling much closer to the grower at a much higher accuracy. This is something that growers have been questioning for many years as to how do I get the soil sampling process better? Because we know that having the right nutrients in the crop at the right time and in the right amount is essential to their success. So maybe that just gives you a little bit of a view of, some of our products are certainly situated more for different crop types, but really across the portfolio, we've got many solutions that work for farmers regardless of what type of crops they grow. And you're seeing more and more solutions from us that really cater to the needs of a broader agricultural market.
Okay, I'm going to ask just a quick silly question.
Yeah.
What is PTX? How did you guys decide on the name?
Yeah. Yeah, well, gosh, I mean, there's a lot that goes into a name, right? And so it was actually a really fun process talking about what do we want the brand to mean, what do we want to stand for, and what's this, and preserving a legacy, right? I mean, as we look at precision planting, as we look at Trimble agriculture, what a legacy that those two brands have. And so, through some of our studies, we also learned that they're some of the most recognized brands in the entire agriculture industry, and we need to preserve that.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, right? Is when you do something
Exactly.
like, there's a lot of pros, a lot of positives to be having a more cohesive brand go to market, but you're dealing with the benefit of these legacy brands. That's a tough needle to thread.
Yeah, and maybe if I can say it's a lot of responsibility to bear as well. And so, as we look at PTX, PTX is to represent the heritage, the legacy, and the vision for where we want to go. So what does it stand for? The P represents precision agriculture. That's at the heart of what we do day in and day out. It's about how can we marry this customer's problem with our ability to solve that through technology. The T stands for cutting edge technologies. It's all about how we bring value to the farm and the way and the products we develop. And the X represents the multiplication effect by bringing together some of these trusted brands and trusted leaders in the industry to serve farms in a new way. And so PTX, while each letter doesn't stand for a single word, it's meant to represent the heritage and really the vision for the future of how we want to serve farmers globally.
I love it. Well done. You did get
A lot of people behind that one, so it would be very wrong to say say it was a one person job. We had a great team that really put a lot of thought and a lot of care into how we represent ourselves.
I love that. I love that. All right, so we touched on how this deal, kind of the strategy behind the deal. We talked about the branding behind, doing a rebrand. We're business nerds on this podcast. This is a massive deal to execute on. Can you walk us through as much as you can share, like how the economics work in doing a deal like this? Like how does this come together economically?
Yeah, wow. There's a lot to that one as well, and a lot of people a lot smarter than me that had their hands in the making of this. I had the fun part of getting to think about the vision and how we put that into action. But certainly one of the things we look at is we look at what is the business today, and where do we see opportunities that by leveraging different elements that either maybe it's some of the assets and resources we bring to the table as a at the time AGCO, and certainly then what opportunities we see as we look at, hey, we think we can really take the skills and the assets of the current business and deploy them in other ways. And so as we look at some of those fundamentals that played into it, there were some key things about product areas that we could go explore together. As we look at some of the technologies from PTX Trimble Ag at the time, and Precision Planting, there's a lot of complementary technologies that we can utilize together to create new outcomes for farmers. And so I'll maybe stop a little bit short of what exactly those products will be, and we'll save that for some upcoming product launches. But there's some really cool products that when we look at how we utilize them, we are able to deliver something new for customers. The other thing, which is a huge focus, is around channel. Developing strong dealers is one of the most important and most challenging things that we can do. because the dealer really is our face of the brand in the market. They represent to customers a confidence in our products. They represent to customers the ability to utilize our products, and they represent to customers the place where they make sure their operation stays up and running. And so we spent a lot of time looking at the fundamentals of how our channel strategy can drive for growth through existing products and new products, getting those products into the hands of more farmers on a global scale. One of the things, just to maybe speak to that a little bit, is as you look at some of the historical precision planting channel, very, very strong in North America. As you look in Europe, PTx Trimble network is very, very strong in Europe. And in South America, we have a similar setup, both with an opportunity to grow. And so by looking at this channel, we have an opportunity to really grow the coverage of the products and of the channel by leveraging different dealers around the world that really drive the sales possibilities as we see it for the business. So that talks a little bit about how we saw it from a sales standpoint. As certainly as we get into the deal a little bit more, it's a lot of discussions about what makes it right for shareholders of both companies, and really how do we develop a financial model that is valuable. In this case, being a joint venture where both Trimble and AGCO benefit through the success of the joint venture, and then there's the customary, I'll say, closing processes of various approvals as various integration efforts to make sure that we have a highly functioning business come day one. So I realize I didn't get too much into the X's and O's and dollars and cents of a full deal. You can read about some of that stuff online, but I think maybe the more fun part is a little bit about these areas of product and area of channel and how teams can utilize their skill sets together to do new things for customers that really drive a business case that support a very massive joint venture deal like this one, which it was touted as the largest AgTech deal in the history. And that's something pretty fun to be a part of. And I think our team's excited to really bring that vision to life.
Andrew, you've talked about kind of the different product applications. You mentioned kind of spray technology, variable rate spraying. You're in Brazil, which is a huge area for biologicals, a lot of growth happening there, expansion there. You were on a panel at World AgriTech talking biologicals. So maybe just talk to us about how you're viewing that space and the role that PTx plays with biological adoption worldwide.
Yeah, it's a great point, and we're fortunate enough to have a lot of great relationships with companies that are playing in the various crop inputs. And so one of the things that we look at is we need to make sure that the application of those emerging treatments and emerging biologicals can be done in the right way. And we found some areas where traditional mechanized technology can deliver exactly what is needed to make sure the right placement, the right application, right rate, all that sort of stuff of kind of new emerging treatments can take place. But we've also had some various conversations where maybe today's equipment and today's technologies, might not be the best to apply these biologicals or new treatment types that companies are envisioning. So for us, that's where we can really play a role. It's making sure that the application is done right, and making sure that that accuracy is as good or better than what can be expected today with traditional herbicides or pesticides, insecticides, etc. One of the things that I think might also be a little bit interesting is, I think through some of our technologies, we're also allowing input companies to envision new types of inputs. And so as we look at some of our targeted spraying technologies, well, we're maybe able to promote what might be a little bit of a more costly treatment, maybe a little bit more effective treatment for growers, because we know we're going to be using less chemical through the field. And so they might be able to vary which products they use in their mixes that target different things that maybe before it didn't make economical sense to spray across an entire field. And so that's been an interesting thing where our technology maybe even allows some different business opportunities for these input providers that we can help to promote together.
Andrew, as we finish up here, gotta know, what's your ag hot take?
I think maybe the role of precision ag technologies. I think precision ag technologies are oftentimes looked at replacing what people do, maybe looked at replacing long tenures of knowledge. And the way I really like to think about it is we're enabling people to do things that they've never been able to actually do before. If I look at some of our products are able to see things, they're able to sense things and they're able to respond faster that myself as an operator that I didn't have the ability to do before. One example that I think about is our smart firmer product. This is something that's drugged through the seed trench there, seed furrow there, and is measuring thousands and thousands of points of data in a single second. And it's automatically adjusting all points of that row unit without even having operator intervention. As I'm driving through the field, I don't actually know where that moisture layer is from one point to the next. I maybe don't know how clean the furrow is from one point to the next, but we're able to bring that visibility in an instant at a high speed to growers. We're then able to respond in a fast way. And so maybe my hot take is a little bit about precision ag isn't about becoming, it's not about replacing the strength of the people that we have growing the food around the world. It's about bringing visibility and it's about bringing control that our customers have never had access to before. And that's a pretty exciting thing to do, to know that we're making a difference in global agriculture in that way.
That's awesome. I think that's a great place to wrap. Well, Andrew, this has been a ton of fun. I know you have a happy hour to get to at the Agri Show down there in Brazil. So as we wrap up, how can our listeners get in touch and connect with you and PTx Trimble?
Yeah, so there's lots of different ways, but certainly, our various social media accounts across the entire AGCO enterprise, whether it's our Fendt, Massey Ferguson, Valtra, websites, YouTube channels, Instagram, all of your typical social media posts. You can certainly find out about us on the PTx side at ptxag.com. You can check out our full suite of products from Precision Planting, PTx Trimble, and learn about some of the great ways that we've been learning about problems in global agriculture ourselves. And how our products have enabled farmers, including our own farms that we operate, how those products have been able to solve problems for farmers that have gone unaddressed for many years before. So come check us out. We're here at the Agri Show. We'll be at many other shows around the world for the rest of the year, but you can check us out anytime online at ptxag.com.
Tim, biggest ag tech deal in history. What did you think of that conversation?
It was good to kind of get the inside scoop on it. Like, the deal's about a year old, so it's not super recent news, but really interesting to see how kind of like two massive players in the industry, Trimble and AGCO, how they kind of come together, have this shared vision, and really like what the economics and structure look like to do a JV. Like, I think that gets thrown out quite often of like, just did a JV, and like the actual like, how does it make sense for shareholders when you have massive companies? Like, you need to deliver economic value with what you're putting together. So it's just really interesting to see how they structure that and how they're rolling it out.
Tim, should we do a joint venture between Nuss Farms and AgList? And, I think we could scheme up something pretty, economically viable.
Yeah, just delivering all the shareholder value.
So much shareholder value. Guys, appreciate you listening. We will be back next week.